Lamb and tuna fish. You American prefer spaghetti meatball? It's from Big Daddy, for anybody who cares. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Odd Shop. It's Freaky Friday. And why is it so strange? Well, a couple things. One, I'm hosting. What a time to be alive. And two, I'm hosting alongside my buddy Ben. We are getting just all kinds of weird. Go follow him at JazzRazDFS over on the Twitters. Go follow me at Eric Lindquist while you're at it. Ben, what are we doing here today?
I don't know. I'm very confused. I thought maybe it was a schedule mix-up, but it's not. It's true. We're here. It's Friday. Got a lot to get to. We're going to have some fun today. This is going to be a good show. It's going to be laid back, probably a little egregious, but, you know, we do shows in the golf world. We just rarely take it to the NBA streets. That's all.
Yeah, we're very polished there. It's a proper sport, you know. We got to be refined, and it's a gentlemanly game, despite what Patrick Reed pulls out from time to time, even though we're both fans of what he pulled off for us on Underdog. We did a bunch of drafts over there in the Albatross. We're running pretty good. Also, I didn't tell you this. I got a Rory team through as well.
Yeah, I did too. So hopefully he gets his head right for Oak Hill, and we just start making a run over there.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to the PGA event. Obviously, you know Ben a lot from the PGA streets, and then everybody from the Discord. You've got two members of the Discord. It's usually me and Aton hanging out, and Ben, he's the leader. He is our fearless leader over there in the Discord.
Something
so
like
definitely, that. Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. If you guys want college anything, if you want NHL
college baseball
anything.
Tonight.
Oh my God! How about can we get back to the Little League baseball streets soon?
Soon, August.
Remember when South Dakota brought the heat with that kid?
Yeah, Gavin Weir. He'll be soon enough back in business.
Vanderbilt, maybe, or something of that nature.
Probably.
It's got an absolute cannon. Shout out my home state of South Dakota. But as you're getting in here, smash that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. We got Mike Lawrence out there producing from Philadelphia, Buffalo. He's a make-believe Philly fan. Nothing matters. He's getting ready for absolute destruction in his life because Sexers have no. I don't feel very good about their chances, but that's just me personally. Milwaukee, the team to beat in the East, right? Like, come on.
Celtics, but
ooh, look at you.
Yeah. Celtics are so good. I hate Celtics, but they're a dangerous team.
Got to see Robert Williams healthy. Can he play multiple games in a row? That is yet to be decided. And again, come playoff time against Joel Embiid on the interior, against Giannis Antetokounmpo in the interior, want to see Robert Williams healthy. But that's a conversation we will get into. First, you know how this works. We have to recap things. We need to talk about all the things that happened yesterday. Yikes. What? Can you explain on behalf of you and Laffy what happened yesterday?
So I can explain some of it. My part is easy to explain.
I did the same thing. I just pulled it up.
Yeah, you and me both love the Cardinals run line. Vince Velasquez hasn't had a good start in about 2 years, so naturally Cardinals put up 0 runs in that game. That's just one of those you have to say, okay, it's baseball and that's going to happen occasionally, because I'm not shocked that, obviously I thought they were going to win, but I am floored that they did not get any offensive production in that game. So, yeah, the beautiful thing though, me and the community, we've got that synergy. They went down, I went down, so no big deal. We pick up the pieces today. Lofty's didn't even play yet because he took a game on Sunday.
A game on Sunday.
Yeah.
What a power move. Put it on a day that there isn't even an Odd Shop show. And then, you either carry it on. Oh, look at that. Me in the background with the thumbs down. Oh, look at me. See?
Oh, wow.
I have too many pictures that. So people don't know, you weren't there, unfortunately, but we did the get together in Chicago for all the Stochastic crew.
Sure.
And they decided it was a great idea to do pictures after we went out until about 3 a.m. So
yeah,
awesome.
Well, those are you see them on the deals. We'll probably pull one up at some point in the show.
All right. Well, dealer's choice. How about this? We're going to be taking your questions here in the like we always do here in the YouTube chat. Just it's going to be me hosting and guiding this ship. I'm going to go dealer's choice, though, Ben. You're the dealer. Would you like to start in the MLB or the NBA streets for our conversations today?
So I definitely do want to talk about a little baseball. And not just the MLB. But I think we should start with the 2 playing games. So we've seen all these teams, of course. I thought every playing game was pretty hard to watch, except the Thunder game. I thought they played okay.
You thought it was hard to watch? I thought it's been entertaining beyond belief.
But awful. All the teams just look terrible. Minnesota, terrible. The Lakers, even worse, even though they won that game. The Heat were so bad. The Raptors, the worst free throw shooting performance I may have ever seen. So a lot of shots at redemption tonight. I'm fascinated. I want to just honestly ask you, if I can, right off the bat, because you've been putting out a ton of content in our Discord. You've been dropping plays all year in the NBA. You're tuned into these guys. You got to think that Jimmy Butler tonight responds after just a truly terrible performance. Do you not?
I mean, yeah, he has to, because there's only one place to go, and that's up for this Heat team. I mean, for me, it's more Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo was a complete no-show, and he's been this way for the last, I don't know how long. It's been a couple months now where Bam Adebayo has not looked entirely right. If we get to the end of the season, or which could be tonight for them, and they just said, Bam Adebayo has had a shoulder injury for the last 2 months and is getting surgery or has something going on, I wouldn't be shocked, because he played 41 minutes and put up 12 and 9. That is so inactive for him. And I know Kyle Lowry being back in the mix. Bam Adebayo, I find to be one of the best passing big men in the entire NBA. But when you have Kyle Lowry, a 6-footer, dominating the ball like he did last time out, you're neutralizing a big part of what made Bam Adebayo him, and that is he's a dangerous passer.
It was just a game with mysteries abound. Like, first of all, their pick and roll defense was horrendously bad. Capella had like 30 rebounds on the other side. They gave up, I believe, 63 rebounds in that game. What are we doing here? And Jimmy Butler was just very atypical. Yes, maybe we will go back to the triple-double Jimmy Butler at 17-1. I'm not opposed to that. I get a little dangerous early in the show, but I do think, kind of starting to formulate some value, I do think the Heat will play well tonight. One of the bets on OddsShopper that piqued my interest immediately was Jimmy Butler over 5.5 assists at minus 140 on FanDuel. He had 9 even in that terrible first game. I think he will be around that. I really see him distributing and getting at least 6 dimes tonight.
Yeah, we're heading over to the NBA board over at OddsShopper. For those who don't know, absolute print fest in terms of expected ROI, expected win percentage for the people in the PrizePicks, no house advantage, tons of deals going on in the pick'em sites as well. Everything is at your disposal at OddsShopper. You guys can go to the link below, sign up for a 7-day free trial. If you've never seen the tools behind the scenes here, they're a huge part of my process. They're a huge part of Ben's process. Every single day, that's kind of where we begin our day. And obviously, I covered the night before. We've started to integrate more tools where I can get a look ahead and see what the books are doing, be able to shop for the best lines constantly. And more lines are coming out available for these games ahead of time. Once we get into series pricing and things of that nature for the weekend, there are a lot of places where you can find the best bets, but we are finding these sharp lines here. And yeah, I'm with you. Jimmy Butler, 5.5 assists sitting on FanDuel right now, 4% expected ROI, 61% expected win percentage. That number is inflated to 6 as I look at it over here on PrizePicks. So for those of you in the legal betting states, we can talk through the lines there. And then I'm going to translate it to some PrizePicks and NHA stuff here as well for you. But I'm on board with it. Jimmy Butler playing with the ball in his hands constantly. Tyler Hero, willing participant in the shooting department, but this is like Jimmy Butler's last stand in terms of the construction of this Heat team.
I know they kind of had to have the Hawks game, but this is an actual have to have it. And they're at home. They're once again a favorite. Moneyline sitting like minus 200. I really expect them to play well. Jimmy Butler's going to push for 40 minutes tonight, no doubt about it. And even, like I said, he was 6 of 19 in that first game, but he still had 9 assists. And it's not, you mentioned Hero's going to take 10 threes. You can get some easy drop downs to some of the bigs. I think that's where I start. I have more trouble on the Chicago side. I don't know where you're looking. If maybe it's Vooch, maybe it's Zach LaVine, who just torched Toronto. I'm not sure what else I want to get from this game besides Jimmy Butler. He's the first guy I looked at.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler makes a lot of sense. Somebody that I've kind of talked myself into the points plus rebounds. I think both of them, the combination of it makes a lot of sense in this spot. Nikola Vucevic, Andre Drummond, and I think this has been a trend routinely with books. You can really take advantage of that first game of the playoffs where books are under projecting just about everybody in terms of their minutes allotment. There is some uncertainty who's actually going to be playing minutes in the playoffs, who's actually not, because these are glorified game sevens. 39 minutes for Nikola Vucevic. They had Drummond completely out of the rotation. Whereas for the season, Drummond has been averaging 12 and a half minutes per game. He played 4 in Toronto. So want to point it out there. If they do anything, they're going to go to Patrick Williams in a small ball 5 type situation. Maybe Derek Jones out there for 4-6 minutes. But Nikola Vucevic for 42 minutes against anybody, 15 and a half points. That's the number that's jumping on OddsShopper. I have him well north of 10 and a half rebounds where that prop is. That's also on my card. I think finding the combination of the two, that's a good way to go about it tonight on the Chicago side.
Yeah, we talked about that, me and Lofty. You saw it with Kevin Love. He's another example of that. He played 3 minutes, and his rebounds prop in that first game was a joke. Can I interest you? Because again, there's a lot of ways to structure. You just mentioned points plus rebounds for Vooch. Any love at going more conservative with his just to get a double-double? You're sitting like minus 165 there. Obviously, the points should be almost preloaded. You feel confident about the rebounds. Do you look to a double-double with him tonight?
I don't hate it. I just think 10 and a half, like, I guess the conversation is like, what are you accomplishing when the rebound prop is sitting at, let me just plug him in. So again, we can throw in Nikola Vucevic at the top bar. I'm pulling it up here as I go. I think what you're running into is an issue of like, is cost benefit analysis, 11 rebounds the hook with the double at such extreme juice as opposed to just taking the 10 and a half rebound prop. Now it has a 52% expected win percentage there. For me, it's more of like, we have minus 122 at points being a 3% expected ROI bet. And then the rebounds being a negative 3% expected ROI bet. But the portfolio together for me, 26 and a half. I think if you're running into the same minutes allotment we got in Toronto, which has to be the case in a must-win game, I'm getting minus 115 to just back that number individually. And the double-double already would account for 20 of it. So you're talking about the points preloaded. I think the points plus rebounds for me just feels like the safer play, and I'm getting a better number.
Yeah, I totally get it. And when you click that prop, you have the sliding scale luxury. Like, it doesn't matter. He could have 27 points and no rebounds. Like, okay, whatever. So you don't have to formulate it where if you're building like a same game parlay or something like that, you're going to have to hit the individual category. So I totally get that. Other than that, I mean, do you have a feel? What do you think about the game? Like, I think the Heat are going to win, but I thought the Heat were going to really control the Hawks.
Yeah, I had the Hawks in that one, which was nice. NBA was a really, really good day on Wednesday. MLB was lackluster. Thursday, another roller coaster, just riding the Tampa Bay wave. That's been enjoyable. And then St. Louis just only disappoints me at this point in time. Couldn't get an over except for the one day I didn't bet it in St. Louis and Colorado for that series. Whatever. Conversation for a different day. I hate my spreadsheet in MLB at the moment. But Nikola Vucevic and Bam Adebayo, just that whole interior situation here. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I think I would probably be leaning towards taking points with Chicago. I'm not going to be betting it. It's not going to be on my card. Miami, their path to winning is just having Bam Adebayo be relevant. I think it's been so bad. And somebody, Ghetto Farmer Boy, said in the chat, good to see you. Good to see a lot of the usual faces here. That was the conversation with Bam at the end of last year. I don't remember it being this dire, but like, they have invested in him long-term as that dude. And I got to say, he doesn't even look like he could be a serviceable number 2 on a winning basketball team right now.
It's definitely not good. I mean, the Heat, they're going to have serious issues, even if they do get through. But for tonight, it's a 208.5, so it's going to be a methodical pace. Oh, yeah. It's a weird game. I mean, I'm with you on Vooch. You kind of got me interested in that. I'm just scanning the board a little, really looking for anything else that pops out.
Like Alex Caruso?
Uh-oh. It's a little stocks action or something.
So one of the other parts about this, and I talked about this with Greg on Live Before Lock, I was able to be in the Live Before Lock streets. I'm hosting Odd Shop. I don't even know who I am anymore. It's actually fantastic. I get to talk sports, so I'm more than okay with it.
It's a good job.
Pretty sure that people were out of their minds not projecting Alex Caruso for more than 30 minutes. And I think he would have played 35, 36. He ran into some foul trouble there. Kobe White ended up playing 25 minutes. That was probably the most shocking minutes allotment of any individual player through any of the play-in games so far. I did not see 25 minutes in meaningful rotation minutes for Kobe White in any way, shape, or form. I think Alex Caruso in this matchup specifically, you talk about being methodical. He is that dude. He's got 100 EPM, defensive EPM estimated plus minus over at Dunks and 3. He is the highest projected defensive player. Yeah, we can look at the stocks market. We can look at that specifically, but the number was 5.5 rebounds plus assists. And when you're Alex Caruso, you're not going to be eating up any meaningful usage on a floor with Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and DeMar DeRozan. But you're going to run into stats. And I get that he just had 3 and 2 in that, but I was getting plus money. You're getting major plus money to back 5.5 right now. Better than plus 106, better than plus 110, just about everywhere. I don't see how that isn't a slam dunk play.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this is the kind of stuff when you look at this situation that we can kind of get into. It's just a fascinating, this is the only time, I know I said this yesterday, but this is the only time of the year where the NBA lines are preloaded for days. Like, we have seen these lines mature for a couple days, even in the playing games and stuff. And obviously we've got the series prices and things like that out there. So I do think it's a little different than normally, where, like you mentioned, you're on live before lock. Some of the props that you're hitting, you're discovering at like people in your time, like 3:30 Eastern out on the West Coast. So this is, I'm with you. Caruso's a guy I'm fine with. Anything else though? Like DeRozan's kind of a pass for me. I didn't see anything that popped out.
Yeah, I think everything else about this, I thought about Jimmy Butler points. I had a tiny play on him that I put in last night, just trying to uncover some value. But the Alex Caruso play I was in love with. And as the day's going on and as I've updated stuff, Nikola Vucevic has really jumped to the top 2 for me, points plus rebounds. But I think it's going to be an entertaining game, even if it's a slow, methodical game. You love these bruiser, terrible,
yeah.
I mean, this is glorified college basketball game.
It's fantastic. I love a good rock fight where first to 75 wins. The NBA's the high scoring we just have to deal with, but I don't know. I mean, obviously in the second game, that's going to be more vintage NBA. I actually like the over in that game. I talked about that on my video this morning. I think it's going to be up and down. Both teams top 5 in possessions per game. Are you going to roll with I believe, tell me if I'm wrong. I believe you had the Thunder in the first go around against the Pels. You sticking with them?
Plus 185. Yes, I'm going to be taking 5.5. That number's available at BetMGM and Caesars still. So as long as you've got multiple exposure to multiple books, the OddsShopper way, the Ben Rasa way, you should be finding plus 5.5. And I know that we had in the community parlay plus 5 there on the screen. Go find yourself the 5.5. It should be available to you. I like that number a lot. And I'm a diehard Minnesota Timberwolves fan, but there's no doubt that there is a wide range of outcomes for what you're running into in this game. And I don't know how to go about projecting Rudy Gobert's minutes in any way, shape, or form. He could play as few as 26. He could play as many as 38, and neither outcome would surprise me. I think he's the hardest guy to project out of the entire day, basically. What you do with those minutes for a team that obviously went through the conflict that they did the beginning of this week on Sunday. Rudy Gobert can be such a meaningful piece in a rotation. He's had playoff issues against small ball lineups, but OKC doesn't prevent like that kind of challenge. It's kind of interesting. Jalen Williams, the YLIN version, not the ALEN version, the small forward, the one who's good. The center, he's going to have to be on the floor a lot again, like he was against Vucevic, or sorry, not Vucevic, but Valanciunas. I think you're running into more minutes of Gobert, but I don't know what to do with him. And for me, it just leans into OKC. I look at these guards and Giddey and SGA. They've continued to outperform expectations. I don't see why they wouldn't bring it again tonight.
Giddey, man, he's a player.
Unreal. He's 20 years old.
I know.
He's 20 freaking years old. Put another shrimp on the barbie.
A little 2003 action. Like, what? It's insane. we were sweating him for a triple double the first go around, and he was
Oh my God.
one board short. He's gonna play major minutes, crazy usage. First of all, this is not what this show is about, but I will say Oklahoma City is gonna be nasty pretty damn soon. If Chet is good, and they've got like 8 more picks, Oklahoma City is gonna get good fast. But let's see, Giddy tonight. I just want to take a peek.
I'm kind of conflicted with Giddy tonight.
Yeah, that certainly his numbers come down. His triple double tonight is plus 750. That shows you the adjustment there. Minus 115 to double double. That's not bad.
Yeah, at the top of the board, he is everywhere. I mean, he is scattered all top. And what's interesting about Giddy is that he does it in such an interesting way where last night, 36.5 was the number. The under of his PRA looked good. But then you look at the top of the board today, and there's other lines where things are in flux. And I don't think books, I mean, there's a wide variability based on the sharp books that you're projecting off of, where Josh Giddey, the points are now projecting really good at 19.5 inside of standard juice at minus 106. I think that's fascinating. But then the threes are an even better play at under 1.5. He had a couple of looks, and I don't know if you watched the entire game last time around, but there were a lot of like junk rebounds that went out long to him, and he just had wide open threes off of that. That is generally not a huge part of his repertoire. Not going to be somebody who's out there chucking 7 threes in games routinely. I know he had a couple down the stretch where he was getting more comfortable, but there are so many games where he wouldn't even attempt threes this year or would have one attempt. And now we have him at 1.5, and it's a pretty decent number. It's inside of standard juice on the under. Wild stuff with Josh Giddey across the board today.
Yeah, it's going to be an uncomfortable short if you do short him, because he's going to play major minutes. It's a high-paced game, and he's really good. But again, that's just the market-based approach. The books are doing the work for you, so you kind of have to look to that. I'm not running to the window to short him. I do like maybe trying to find some of his overs, particularly the points at 19.5. He can get to the line. Them as a team shoot over 80% from the free throw line, which is going to come in handy tonight. I don't really have anything. You mentioned Minnesota. I don't know what to do with them because I don't know if Gobert, if they go small, what happens. Anthony Edwards was worse than Jimmy Butler, which is almost impossible. He's got to play better tonight for obvious reasons.
Because it's impossible to play worse.
Yeah, it's actually impossible.
Like Ofer from the three in that game. Still was making some athletic plays towards the end of the game, had that steal slam ridiculousness. I'm just like, dude, start taking it to the rack. Felt like a high school basketball coach watching that game. Just
0 of 9 from 3.
Yeah, Ofer. It was not good. It was not good in any way, shape, or form. But if you were to go small, like if you're going to see Minnesota try to get, and Gobert, we saw it in back-to-back years against the Clippers in 2000, 2001, where they torched Gobert in the pick and roll. They would make him go out and guard Marcus Morris around the 3-point line, and that didn't go well for Utah. Lost both of those series. They also ran into like red-hot Terrence Mann in one of those series, which is not something that you would imagine saying very often. But I think Anthony Edwards, 5.5 rebounds. It's got just a 1% expected ROI currently in the tools, but I think that makes a nice, for all you single game parlay folk over there on FanDuel, I think that's something I might dip my toes in.
Yeah, live a little. Okay.
Yeah, I might live a little bit. I know we're not the parlay guys here. I need Eitan up here, up at the top of his lunch. Throw me a freaking bone here. Give me the parlays.
When's the last time you've seen that movie?
I mean, I know that whole movie.
I know you
front to back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my underground lair. I've gathered here the world's deadliest assassins, and yet you've all failed to do me one simple task: kill Austin Powers. That makes me mad. And when I get mad, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. And when Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people die.
See, Giddey wasn't even alive when that movie came out, probably. You see what I'm talking about? That can't be good.
That's not good. But also, it's good for him because,
he's gonna
life is wasted on the young.
Yeah. But what else are we trying?
You're bringing it back.
What?
I was going to say, I just took it off the deep end.
Well, I'm used to this because I do my shows with my man Eitan. So we're talking about, we're in the weeds. We were talking about Jeopardy for like hours the other day, all sorts of shenanigans.
I wish Aaron Rodgers had left the NFL and just hosted Jeopardy. That would have been fantastic.
That would have been cool.
But I can't deal with
rest
another
in peace,
year of having
Alex
to watch
Trebek.
him.
See, Giddy probably doesn't even
Rip.
know about Alex Trebek.
Terrence Mann, game 6 versus the Jazz. Yeah, 39 points. It was the Terrence Mann special. That game was, and Donovan Mitchell was beside himself in the post-game interview. It was fantastic. Oh, that's Vladimir Putin. Why are we putting Putin up there?
That is true. It's a little propaganda hour.
We gotta get actual Mike Myers or actual Eitan Shander there.
Anything else from these two? I do have to add every person I've done this show with, so AKA Lofty and Eitan. Now I'm going to ask you.
Yep.
I'm adamant that the Kings can beat the Warriors, but no one seems to agree with me. Do you agree with me?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Now let's get into some series pricing.
We can.
Do we have those available over here on old OddsShopper?
Nah, maybe.
I don't think we do. Let's pull up DraftKings Sportsbook and kind of use that as a reference.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday a little bit. I want your thoughts for sure.
Well, I'm with you first of all, I thought the Kings would make the playoffs this year. I didn't wager on it. I didn't think about it. I also still think long-term Halliburton and Indy is something that the Kings are going to regret. It's a point guard driven league. The best players and the best team that we've seen in the last decade has two guys in Klay Thompson and Steph Curry who shoot the doors off of it. If you want to play the Milwaukee way, you still have Chris Middleton. You still have a physical specimen in Giannis who can get by and do things a little bit differently. But like this game goes towards guys who can create and guys who can just knock down threes and be that guy. I don't see why Tyrese Halliburton couldn't play alongside Fox, but that's a conversation for a different day. Sabonis brings a skill set that's a little bit more conducive for what Fox wants to play with, and I think it's definitely worked out for them. I think this is a really tough series to handicap. I think it looks about, as I'm pulling up the features, it looks about appropriate to me. I think what I would be more willing to do is I see plus 8,000 on Sacramento to win the NBA Finals. I think if you thought that they could beat Golden State, the path through the rest of the West is awesome for them because you're avoiding the Suns until the Western Conference Finals, correct? You're getting the 2-3 matchup. They're the 3 seed versus the 6. I think plus 8,000 and you could hedge out later.
Yeah, that's not what I thought you were going to say. Yeah, I mean, the Kings, baby steps. We'll see. I don't know what to expect from them, but I'll say this. I believe that the Warriors road splits are a real thing.
That's the big question. I mean, we're seeing them. They haven't won double-digit games on the road this year.
It's going to be a long series. Maybe it gets deep. You can find, I've said this 3 days in a row, so forgive me if you're a loyal listener. You can find plus 1.5 games at plus money for the Kings. So if it goes 7, you automatically win. I think this series goes 7 a lot.
Golden State did win 11 games on the road this year. 11 and 30. Them. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Classy.
I think Harrison Barnes being back is a pretty important thing too for Sacramento. That's getting a little bit into the weeds with it, but like this is a revenge spot. Revenge in his heart, Harrison Barnes. He's got to find some kind of a way to be effective in this series because Keegan Murray, I don't trust still. It's not just because he's an Iowa Hawkeye, which is about the worst thing you could be in my life, but I think we've got to find, because I think Fox and Sabonis, you always got to find out like these other pieces, like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are going to be effective. Yes. I think Draymond Green is really the catalyst for them. Can Draymond Green provide the same defensive qualities and passing qualities that we've seen for a decade now? And for Sacramento, can they get anything out of their bench period? Malik Monk, can they get anything out of Terrence Davis in probably 10, 12 minutes a game? I don't think Fox and Sabonis are going to be able to be good enough to carry this team, but there's also some value attached to it.
Going to be a series. It's actually, so the funny thing about it is it's one of these series, the range of outcomes is gigantic. There is a certainly non-zero chance that the Kings are just simply not ready for this. And it looks like they're overmatched. I fully understand that, but I think that there's also a lot of ways where the Warriors flip the light switch and it just doesn't turn on, and it's a deep, aggressive series.
Look at that. Plus 1.5 games, plus 125. That's a
what I'm talking
fascinating
about.
one to me. I might have to end up joining you there. There's one other play that I kind of like as I'm plugging some stuff away. Go to the Sacramento versus Golden State series, and you've got series leader in total points. Steph Curry is majorly juiced minus 330.
Yep.
If you're going to give me 3-1 on De'Aaron Fox, I can get 3-1 on De'Aaron Fox leading this team in points. I'm just going to throw it out there. Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole are still going to be chucking there. And Sacramento is going to just try to speed up these games at home, try to hold serve, do things that way. And De'Aaron Fox, 3-1 on that number. I think that's pretty intriguing.
I never even looked at this market for obvious reasons. Kind of is interesting. I mean, if I like the Kings so much, it's got to be him. Look at the leap. I mean, Sabonis is 25-1. Clearly, they're saying that it's almost realistically a two horse race here. So
I think it should be. I can't imagine that I would get to Klay Thompson unless you were to run into like a 50 burger. I can't imagine that Jordan Poole with his defensive issues come playoff time here, he's going to be a 28-minute guy off the bench. Like, that's the way that I look at Jordan Poole. Maybe they keep him in the starting lineup there, but I think you got to bring Looney out there for Sabonis. You're going to have spots where maybe they go small and just try to go Draymond up against Sabonis and try to outshoot guys on the perimeter there. But for the most part, I think 3-1 on De'Aaron Fox is a really good bet if you're looking at them being competitive here.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Other than that, and then we can get to the diamond. There's really no hockey to talk about, even though, again, if you want hockey bets and you're hopping in the Discord, I'm going to be betting these series quite heavily, but that's another story for another time. Are there any other series you want to talk about?
I mean, maybe the no, not really. I think it's pretty clear cut. I think the Knicks are pretty live if Julius Randle can get out there. Otherwise, they're going to get completely slaughtered to the Cavs. I think 5.5. That's the closest Saturday line that we have outside of the Golden State Sacramento one, where it's just 1 point on the Golden State side. Philly and Brooklyn, I think Philly should be able to handle business there. Boston and Atlanta, I think that Atlanta is going to get slaughtered just like everybody else does. So we're on board, I think, in the same directions there. Do you have any Knicks Cavs takes?
My only take is kind of what you said. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that the Knicks roll over and die. I know a lot of people are really heavy on the Cavs, and I think that the Cavs have a pretty good shot, but I think that's going to be a competitive series, whereas the Suns, and the lines reflect this, but the Suns, the Sixers, the Celtics, I mean, they're drawn to like, the Bucks meteor potential. Like, a team needs to be wiped out off the face of the earth for those teams not to advance. I see legitimately no way that any of them lose.
I agree. I think it's pretty clear cut.
Position themselves backwards. Not smart, boys. But
I can't believe the incompetence that went into that decision to win there, to not be competitive there.
What do I know? But
you play to win the game.
Well, they did that. They shouldn't.
Well, that's the problem. They shouldn't. But I'm saying you play to win the NBA championship. You got to play the game right. You want to play the Suns the very last. Like, you don't want to play the Suns earlier. Give them more opportunities to lose before they get to you. And you got to play everybody in your way eventually. But why play the most difficult matchup first? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Herm Edwards will be kicking back from the sidelines watching football this year, because I don't believe he has a job since he
doesn't.
Fired on the field at Arizona State. So shout out to
I've played golf
Herm.
with him, though. He's actually a nice guy.
Seems like a good dude. I just wouldn't want him coaching my football team. That's all. Man, poor Herm Edwards getting buried on the show today. I didn't have that on the bingo card.
Well, he's a terrible football coach, but very nice guy, very religious dude. My gosh, he wanted to talk about God a lot.
Oh, he's probably, it's a good time for him. Easter just happened.
It did. He's a very religious, again, he's a great guy. Very nice. Terrible golfer, but plays at Tehama up in Monterey. Good stuff.
Look at that.
Him and, it's ironic because him and Clint Eastwood are actually kind of boys.
Clint Eastwood's still alive, isn't he?
He's not dead.
How old is Clint Eastwood?
Older than Josh Giddey.
That's true. By 5 times as old? No. He is 90.
4 for sure. Got to be 80 plus.
92.
Oh my lord. Yeah, 4x.
See, this is
4x. There you go.
this is Jeopardy knowledge for everyone out there. This is kind of stuff you need to know.
All right. Well, people also need to know, how are your PGA bets doing this week?
Not bad. My lineups actually look pretty good. PGA has been solid. Now I had one big mistake. Again, if you follow me on Twitter, what did I say last night? I said Lucas Glover might be a sneaky ad, and he shot 7 over this morning because he's dead last in putting. But you live and you learn. I feel good about it though. Ricky's playing well. Could be a pretty good week, actually.
Yeah, I gotta check in here, see how Postman's doing. That was cut. A big stand for me. He's cut.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
that ruins my week.
Yeah, he is. He posted 1, and it's not going to get there.
I ended up laying almost 2-1 on him making the cut.
He did not
like
make
an
it.
Absolute.
He should have made it, but he did not.
Shot 1 under yesterday. He played that bad today?
He did not play well today.
That's
Kim also did not make the cut. Very bad.
You know who did make the cut though, Ben?
Ricky, hopefully.
Sam Burns.
Did he? He was playing.
He's 2 under right now. He's on the cut line. Like,
you know who made the cut?
Bordering.
Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker is just lighting it up like it's the he won the PGA Championship many moons ago. This is a dude that's easy to cheer for, though. I think he had some kind of sickle cell issue. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Lyme's disease. That's what it was.
It'll get you. I had Lyme's disease. Lyme's disease will mess you up.
Those damn ticks. You got to go to California or Arizona. They're not there, but then there's
they have like scorpions and stuff. I don't do scorpions. All right. What
Marco Gonzalez scratch? That sucks, because I was very much planning on him getting.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because you again, in our Discord, you've been just firing MLB bets. I've seen the screenshots, home run props, total bases, money lines. What is because I have not looked at a lot of baseball today. What does it look like tonight for the card? What stood out to you?
Well, there's a lot of things that stand out, and I think that's, if there's one thing that I'm going to just kind of start doing, is I'm going to start being more selective. I think I had a little bit of FOMO the first 2 weeks of the season. I normally do. It's exciting to have MLB back. You want to be firing, but there's 15 games every damn day, and you really want to be selective about your spots. And there's just certain things that we don't know in terms of velocity, in terms of pitchers starting to get their footing again, who's really regressing, who's actually like, what are the pieces that are actual noise. And the one guy that I'm just going to keep going to and keep picking on constantly until the day that I die is Jose Berrios. I've never believed in this cat, ever. Everybody in the Discord knows. Everybody who's watched Lindy's Leans, Likes, Locks on OddsShopper knows. Happy Jose Berrios Day. It comes around every single 5 days. You get to celebrate it, and then you have to move on with your life. He's 0-2 again. I have max bet out everything that I could possibly get on the other side of it. Kansas City, huge value. Angels, huge value going up against Berrios, because it's such a serviceable lineup behind him in Toronto that you're getting value constantly betting against him, because Toronto just inherently, their lineup carries so much weight. So I'm getting even money on Tampa Bay today. It is just such a fire. It's unbelievable.
I want to follow up with it because I'm looking at OddsShopper Premium. Again, you can get your 7 days. You can follow along here if you're looking for more. Totally free. Again, 7 days free trial. Jose Berrios under 5.5 Ks on FanDuel grades out as a positive ROI. Is that something that you're comfortable adding to the card as well, thinking that the Rays can either not strike out or knock him out pretty quickly?
Yeah, I did the same thing yesterday with Vince Velasquez, so let's run it back.
He didn't fan a lot, at least.
No, that was good. So we got a little piece of that. But when I expect a pitcher to get lit up, or when I find pitchers to be over projected by the market, one of my favorite things to do is it's not necessarily doubling down, but there's something called BABIP in baseball. For those who don't know, it's called batted average balls in play, or BABIP. And when you start seeing some of the numbers that are in flux where the BABIP ends up lower, even though it shows it's a luck indicator is what it is, showing if a pitcher is getting lucky or not. And you cross-reference it with Baseball Savant, you end up putting it in a lovely spreadsheet, and you see who's getting hit hard and is still getting lucky. And they're probably going to be they're going to be overvalued by the market in some capacity, or perhaps undervalued if it's the opposite. This is just what we're running into again today, where Jose Berrios, he's continuing to get shelled. He's continuing to give up hard contact. And then the strikeout rate, It's 26.1% now through 2 starts, but last season we saw a major dip in velocity, 19.8% K rate. I think that's more indicative of who he is going forward. And this Tampa team is not joking around this season.
No, they're not. I don't, like I said, baseball's not my favorite sport, but I know enough about it to see when you never lose, that you tend to have good hitters and good pitchers. So we'll see. Obviously, it's baseball. Like, I expect the Rays to just be like 23-14 soon enough, and no one will even remember this, but that's irrelevant. You've got Barrios as a potential anti-value. I'm just looking right now. I'm just scanning the board. Yeah, I mean, I don't. A lot of this, Hero just. That's the beauty of this. That's my favorite thing. We don't get to do these shows a lot, so I want to ask you, while I have the insight into your mind.
Let's do it.
Using the tool, and you just refresh, and all of a sudden, new bets emerge randomly. Stuff I haven't even thought about, like Tyler Hero just popped up, and some of these, like Carlos Santana is on here. Jose Ramirez has got a couple props. What else do you have, Shohei?
Yeah. Can we be romantic about what we do for 1 second, just in terms of like, what's the most enjoyable part? I love helping people make money, and that by nature makes me love this tool. Like, being able to hit refresh on something. Think about the days of yore. Like, a lot of my origination in betting was going to Vegas with my buddies, putting money down on games and getting absolutely slaughtered. Then I find a bookie, 10 years ago when, you're not supposed to be doing these things or whatever else, but everything's, it's bad, you can't do it. And now it's legalized in so many states. You have so many opportunities, and you have ever evolving lines to be able to help you be profitable. Like, we are truly, truly locked in with this tool. We have the opportunity to refresh, find new ideas as well, why is DraftKings undervaluing Rowdy Tellez? We can look into that a little bit. We saw him succeed yesterday. I think it's a very strange spot against Michael Wacha. I don't believe in what Michael Wacha's done his last 2 starts here for San Diego. Rowdy Tellez going up against any righty, though, to be at minus 140. I think it's a decent enough piece, but hard for me to go completely nuts with it. So there's context. And now Marco Gonzalez is off the board here too. But Avisel Garcia going up against Madison Bumgarner. That's the next guy here in terms of total bases. I'm getting plus 140 to back a righty hitter who had a terrible 2022. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about Avisel Garcia and how garbage he was, but he's a true contact guy. And you know who doesn't strike out people in general either? That is Madison Bumgarner. He is going to continue to get hit. It has not been good. He's now walking guys with a 22.2% walk rate through 2 starts. He's complete dust, has been since he put on a Diamondbacks uniform. And to be able to find that tool, be able to add that to my card in 2 seconds, it's a half unit play for me over at BetMGM right now. And it's just simply because the tool identifies it. I look into it, and it's an absolutely fantastic play.
Yeah, again, plus 140 at BetMGM. You just can't find it. DraftKings plus 120, Caesars plus 127. The penny break even line is obviously less than 140, and that's why the value's coming up. So, what are you smiling about? You got jokes?
Steven Leibowitz has jokes. He goes, that was romantic. Here's the thing. So my wife and I,
man of the people.
Yeah, no. So my wife and I, it's been one of those things. We have a puppy. We have a little fur child here at home, and he requires a lot of work, a lot of attention, a lot of things. And we were gone for Easter, and she was in New York for a week for work. And we haven't had a whole lot of time. So last night, I just kind of was like, we got to go to dinner. We got to go enjoy ourselves a little bit more out in the world. And we go out, not even looking at my phone, not even looking at it. Just one-on-one time. One-on-one time. It's kind of how I feel with the tool once in a while, where it's one-on-one. You feel nice. You're alone in a personal space. And some, some good stuff happens in your life.
I respect that. Nice.
Thank you.
Flying to the NY. Yeah, you gotta do that. Now I have to go out to dinner, because if I didn't, I would starve to death because we don't have any food.
What's the most complex thing you can cook?
I don't cook. What is it? What do you mean?
So 0? Like, you can't put cereal. So is cereal in a bowl, putting milk on top of it, the absolute best? Or can you put something in a microwave?
Yeah.
Like, is that as... I mean, you're truly that remedial. I'm not much better, by the way, but...
No, I mean, I could do that, but like, it's not... I don't have any cereal, so there's nothing to heat up.
You don't eat that peasant food.
Like when that happens once in a while, the lights go out, and like my parents or someone will like, make sure like all your food's gonna go. It's like there is no food. There's nothing you don't have to really worry about anything. Can I make a hot dog?
He's trolling you now. You hate hot dogs, from what I remember.
What? I love hot dogs.
When you can't even make cereal correctly. Yeah, no, that's.
I like hot dogs. What's wrong with hot dogs?
Oh, okay, never mind. I just know our guy
associates me with all this crazy stuff. No, that's not true. I don't. I don't even know what that means. Make a hot dog, to be honest. Like, no, probably not. But yeah, hot dogs are delicious.
We have about 150 of you hanging out here. Get that community parlay voted on. We got 68 votes. Do that and smash that like button while you're at it. Again, do you like the Friday crew? Do you need the Friday crew? Oh, wow. Ben, myself, we've never gotten to do this before together. First time hosting it, first time doing the show together. We've done a million PGA shows together in our lifetime, but also kind of nice to, this is probably the first time, this is the first couple weeks here where I've ever hosted and had you be able to sit analyst. Is this a good experience? It's a great
time. I'm having a blast. Like I said, a laid back show today. And in that vein, chat, because again, hockey's winding down. There's 2 play-in games. If you have questions on a bet, any bet, drop it in chat. We'll be happy to take them. We got about 15 minutes left, so we're totally fine with that. What the hell is on the screen? Pizza?
I was going to say, it's boiling pizza.
Yeah, no. I don't mess around with the stove.
Yeah. Hang on. Do you pay the bills in your household as well, or you do? Okay. No, I mean, like, do you go on like SoCal? So we have like you have like the gas company. No, I'm saying that like you say you don't use the gas or anything, but is it like a $2 gas bill when it's all said and done?
I have no idea.
That's what I was asking. It's like pay.
I mean, I pay it, but like we could be getting charged like 5. I have no idea. I told May to set it up, and the lights don't turn off, and it's fine.
See, that's great. That's a good situation. I'm glad whatever works for you, Ben. Whatever works for you. Let's go to the NHL streets. This is the other beauty of the tool. You want to talk about why it's such a fantastic investment and why you should check it out for 7 days free, of course. You just go to the video description box below. I saw that our guy, Mike Lawrence, Awesome Yo himself, posted in the chat, put that link in there for you guys to get that 7-day free trial. I know nothing about what's going on in the NHL. I have blinders on to the NBA, to the PGA, to the MLB. That is the extent of it. I have no time for anything else, but I do have time for shot on goal bets. I absolutely do. And you got to tell me, is there anything over at the tool that stands out to you that you really like?
Let's take a look. I'm going to look on that. We'll get to the questions about Jalen Williams and Levine. There's really not much. Rasmus Dahlin on the Sabres under 2.5 is the best one, but I'll be honest. There are 2 games tonight and they don't really mean anything. I would wait till, the NHL playoffs start imminently, and it's going to be great. And there's going to be a ton of value, and I'm going to be putting down serious units on some of these teams. Cause I have had a really good hockey season. I've had some definitely leaks in lacrosse and some of my other sports that are usually great, but hockey's been fantastic this year.
So tell me, who are the teams? Who are the quote unquote, as you and Matt Kajeski like to say, who are the wagons in the NHL streets?
I mean, even though the Bruins have to be classified as a wagon because they literally broke the points record. They're like Warriors-esque the year LeBron ended that.
Is it still that line one Pasternak just going completely next Marchand, those guys?
Unreal. But I'll be honest, hockey, weird shit happens, and they drew the Panthers, and the Panthers are going to give them problems. But I think that the Leafs finally are going to get it done this year.
Toronto's going to burn down then. They're going to pull a Philly winning the Super Bowl.
But it's going to be good. There's a lot of teams. Obviously, the Oilers are playing fantastic. We will see what the books provide us there. Let's get to these. You want to rapid fire these questions from chat?
Let's do it. I'm going to fire them all up here. Jalen Williams over 5.5 rebound combos. So another one of my big stands from a DFS perspective the other night was Jalen Williams playing a lot of more minutes than was being projected. Dario Saric played all of 11. He looked great in his 11 minutes, but he's such a defensive liability. He was out there to give Jalen Williams a breather. It's going to be all Jalen Williams. I think the major issue I have here is you get the combo of Gobert and Cat out there. I get that it's going to be moving in terms of pace. I get that Oklahoma City always does that in general, but there's a lot of foul issues you could run into with Jalen Williams. I think he's about projected perfectly at 5.5.
Yeah, right now, again, the market has a consensus as well around that number. So it grades out as a slightly negative ROI on either side. Don't really see a ton there, but yeah, it's not really actionable. Zach LaVine versus Jimmy Butler in points. They're both at 26.5. Their head-to-head line, you have to lay a half point with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
That's pretty efficient as well. I do like the heat in the game, so I think I would go to the Jimmy Butler side. I expect him to take 20-plus shots tonight and be really, really active. Not that LaVine won't, but I would go to Jimmy Butler if I had to bet that.
Jimmy Butler, 6 for 19 against Atlanta. DeAndre Hunter created some problems for him at times. You got some interesting minutes from Sadiq Bey, Jalen Johnson there as well, up against him, slowed him down a little bit. I don't find there to be too many preventative measures with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. He's going to be avoiding a lot of Caruso. I think it's a pretty good bet to be taking Jimmy Butler there, but nothing that grades out all that well. It would just be kind of a lean direction towards that. So definitely there with it. Bam hasn't been good versus Vucevic historically. That's Harambe Slayer, who, by the way, just Discord GOAT for sure. I have been finishing under 9.5 rebounds. 9.5 rebounds for Bam. How does that look for you? How does that look in the tool?
Let's take a look. So Bam's, he's going to push, barring foul trouble, 40 plus minutes. We saw that even in game one of the, whatever you want to call it. Rebounds under 9.5 at -109 grades out over on Caesar. So it looks like we're going to want to short him if you can find that line. Again, I can't stress that enough. You got to find the -109. DraftKings is at -125. Yeah, but I don't really see a lot there, to be honest. PrizePicks is at flat 9.
I want to be bullish for you guys. I want to tell you, like, every bet you guys give us is the top of them. But a lot of what Ben and I do throughout the day when it comes to the premium Discord or Chalkboard, if you guys want to check that out as well, I know that they're the sponsor at the top of the program there. We've got a lot of great guys, Greg Ehrenberg, we've got Lofty, we've got Josh Engelman, a lot of guys hanging out, roaming the Chalkboard streets. We've got Ben, myself, Aton, excuse me, because we're spending a lot of time, a lot of effort trying to filter down bets for you. We're trying to give you the best of the best every single day, trying to give you opportunities to win. Like, we've probably considered a lot of the bets that you're throwing out there, and for one reason or another, it doesn't get identified in the tool. It doesn't come to the top of our cards, and then it ends up falling by the wayside. But I do love the moments when something shows up that it's like, oh, I want to absolutely get to that one. I do like that Florida Panthers bet. I'm thinking about taking a series play on them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna again, the Bruins have looked invincible. We're gonna say that's all I'll say there. Trying to take a peek at what else is really going on. Again, I'll just say, I know we have a couple minutes left. We're gonna get to the community parlay, but if you're looking, say you're saying I want more PrizePicks, stuff like that, all those tools are during your free trial. You just click and you're in, so you can build out your PrizePicks cards. NHA has some really cool specials running as well. So no matter what site is your kind of home site, there are tools available on OddsShopper Premium, and it's such a great time to do it because of the playoffs. There's a million games. Nice. Yeah, Silent Rain, join in. Welcome aboard, my friend.
Love it. Let's head to the PrizePicks streets. Let's put together a little thing.
On the way out, we can do that.
What was that?
Yeah, I said on the way out. Beautiful idea.
We'll do that. We'll then finish out with the community parlay. This show has just flown. 54 minutes. Where did the time go? I don't even know. Slam the like button. Eric and Ben, I got some I don't know what that is. Ben Ford. I don't know.
What the? I
don't know what that is. What?
Yeah, is that a real word?
I don't know what that is, but I hope everything is okay over there.
Yeah,
let's go to the PrizePicks parlay builder.
Hey, for that.
Let's do this. Let's fire one up for tonight. We're going to remove the Allen. We're going to remove Royce O'Neal. We're going to remove RJ Barrett. We have Kyle Anderson over 0.5 threes, 57% expected win percentage. They end up going small. You could see Kyle Anderson. I think regardless, he's played so well, played himself into a lot of minutes. Wild to think that he wasn't even playing 20 minutes a game at the beginning of this season. DeMar DeRozan, 22.5 points. That's projecting out really nicely in the tool as well. And then Mike Conley, a play that's on my card, 23.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. I like seeing that showed up in the tool there. We have Rudy Gobert on the other side of that. If we're going to be bullish on some Kyle Anderson props, always good to have some correlation there. We could add Rudy Gobert under 27.5. Again, the PrizePicks parlay builder does all the work for you. We don't want to be playing anything less than 5 or 6 pick cards because your expected ROI is almost always going to be negative. Fun fact, that's just the payout structure. But is there anything that stands out to you at the top of the board?
No, I think you nailed a couple of them again. You need those X wins to be high enough to overcome the implied juice. And the 6 big time payouts is really where you maximize your potential value. Now, the ebbs and flows, it's not easy to hit a 6-leg parlay. We know that. Mm-hmm. The one guy I would say, and again, this is all customizable. I would not do anything with the Knicks yet. I want to see what's going on with Randall. Barrett was in there. I'm going to put him to the side of my card and stick to more of the guys for tonight.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Rudy Gobert under 27.5. What do you think about this one? Because I think this is a guy that he makes more sense for this matchup where you're trying to increase 3-point volatility. Whenever you're a dog on the road going into New Orleans, I think it made a lot of sense to just ride the hot hand. Lou Dort came out gunning, but that is not generally his game. You know whose game that is? Isaiah Joe. Look at that.
I know.
We
know
are
what's going
just
on.
In lockstep, baby.
Synergy,
1.5 threes for Isaiah Joe.
Yeah.
Give me that and all you got. I expect him to play more than 19 minutes because if you don't have that firepower of Lou Dort knocking down, 4 threes in the first half, 26 points or some garbage, you need Isaiah Joe off the bench in this game.
Yeah. Again, both teams in the top half of fast break points. They like to get in transition. There's going to be open threes for these guys. He is that type of shooter, and we've seen it time and time again in these type of games. If you hit one early, he's the type of guy, if you want to call it like a ladder, if he hits a couple, he could be the guy to take 6, 8, 9 threes in this game, and it wouldn't shock me.
Chaos is a ladder.
Yeah, chaos is a ladder. That is true. I've seen it.
Good old Game of Thrones.
I've seen Littlefinger get whatever happened to him. Chaos is
I can't even remember what happened to him. That's
something
kind of
bad because he wasn't around at the end. Spoiler alert.
The top of the tool right now. I just updated the MLB stuff. Jose Barrios under 5.5 is number 1.
You see? You're going to capture that value if you can get that.
I love value.
That's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's on the card now. Let's jump to the community parlay, my friends. Again, we covered the PGA a little bit. We covered a lot of NBA. Covered some MLB as we went to. I'm pretty sure the people know where I'm going to be going with the community parlay based on what I said earlier about Toronto and one Jose Barrios. But Ben, we have plus 5.5 OKC. That is going to be the community side. I think that's the sharp side. It's on my card. What are you going to add to the fray for the parlay tonight?
So where are we going? We going draft?
That's a good question. Yeah. So it's got to be BetMGM. Yeah. So we want to go to BetMGM or to Caesars. Whichever one you would want.
All right, let's go to the video tip because I was gonna get real crazy, but I might get so crazy that we don't even know. I'm on BetMGM.
Okay.
Let's
do it. BetMGM.
Okay. I'm just scrolling to see what we can find here. Yeah, sadly can't.
What is your optimal Uber Eats order? Ryan Nelson must know.
So I don't think I've ever had Uber Eats.
Postmates guy?
No, I don't know. We just get the food. DoorDash. I don't know how it works. I'm not.
You are so remedial.
Yeah. I'm not. It's a funny thing.
Making food. It just appears in your life.
Yeah, it's just like let's get the food. We have some good restaurants around here. I'm not like a big I don't eat McDonald's and that type of stuff. Chick-fil-A, if there was one by me, would be my go-to, but there isn't one. But yeah, I don't have a great day. I was just thinking about what I'm going to get for dinner.
Nate D, Cleveland Yankees. I actually like both pitchers going in that one tonight, but that's a conversation for a different show. Let's do. I'm just throwing my leg in because I think
go ahead, throw your leg in. I gotta find mine. Mine. They don't have college baseball on BetMGM because they have no respect.
Blasphemous. There's a better number at plus 108 on FanDuel, but to keep it routine, what we're doing here on BetMGM, plus 105. Sorry, here it is. Yo, best number available. There it is. Found it. Tampa Bay minus 125. That's inflated from minus 110 where it was earlier. I don't care. Minus 125. I would lay a lot more than that to face Jose Barrios tonight with Drew Rasmussen, who's given up a grand total of like 5 hits in 12 innings this year. The guy's a stud. So there you go. Drew Rasmussen gets it done. Also, under 5 hits available over on PrizePicks. I would be firing that one up. It's on my card. Ben, round out our show. What is your community parlay leg?
Because Lofty did it, and because I'm gonna do something that's unheard of. This is not my community parlay leg, but Mississippi State in college baseball.
Oh my Lord.
As a dog today, he's a great bet, but it's not available here. I'm gonna go to tomorrow. I've been saying it all day. The Sacramento Kings are gonna be ready to go tomorrow to win that game. Money line, they're minus 110. Again, you can shop and get a little better, but on BetMGM minus 110, Sacramento Kings money line. They will be ready to go. I don't know if they can win the full series. I don't know if they can win any road games, but they control. They are at home. Game 1, they'll be ready to go, and they will win the game tomorrow.
Love it. Ben Rasa.
Mississippi State.
Plus 556. Oh, look at that. Giving the people some goodies.
Arrives. I don't know. There's too many. What's your go-to Uber Eats order?
Sugarfish.
I don't even know what that is.
Sushi. It's delicious.
Huh.
It's delicious. It's nutritious. You should try it.
I love sushi.
Actually, there is a restaurant that I need to get out to New York. So my sister-in-law lives out there. I need to go see this new Chef Ito's, this guy that I met in Miami and did a tasting with Ryan, with Renpak himself. We were hanging out in Miami, and this guy is the shit of sushi. That is for sure. So Chef Ito, check him out over there. Julius Randle, questionable for Saturday, just came through.
Best restaurant in the world, baby. Come on down.
Do that too. Ben Rasa, Jazz Raz DFS over on the Twitters. Any final words for the people as we get out of here, my friend?
No, as always, we appreciate you guys. We've got a ton of stuff happening here at OddsShopper. From this channel to OddsShopper Golf, which is its own YouTube. If you want to be part of the community, of course, we want you to subscribe. We're going to have 70,000 subscribers by the time Monday rolls around. Amazing work by you guys. We appreciate you. If you have any questions, at Eric Lindquist, at Jazz Raz DFS. We'll see you in Chalkboard. We'll see you in Discord. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Thank you to Mike Lawrence. Appreciate you, my guy. Good luck to your Sixers. I don't think they need it against Brooklyn, but he's Ben. I'm Eric. That was the Odd Shop. Maybe see you same time, same place next week. We'll see what the schedule entails. Have a great one. Best of luck betting this weekend.
Sugarfish.
Sugarfish, delicious.